intelligence. And fluid intelligence is intelligence that helps improve, that is improved through brain games. Fluid intelligence is the capacity to solve problems, to learn, to reason, to understand metaphors, and to get to the bottom of things. And so fluid intelligence is known to peak in early adulthood rather than crystallized intelligence, which improves as one ages. And so the only way to improve fluid intelligence is through performing brain games. And the memory that is associated with fluid intelligence is working memory. Working memory is the ability to immediately perform cognitive functions, such as, let's say someone gives you a phone number. Using your working memory, you'll be able to put that number in your phone. And so, one of the most popular brain games companies is Lumosity, and here's a brief commercial performed by them.
Lumosity is a personal trainer for your brain, creating a training program that's right for you based on neuroscience research from top universities around the world. You'll play 5 games in each of your daily workouts. Every game targets an ability important to you like memory, attention, problem solving, and more. Train 15 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week to challenge and exercise your brain. Track your progress over time, see how you compare to people like you, and enjoy your brain training journey. Start right now and discover what your brain can do.
Alright, so as stated, Lumosity helps improve one's fluid intelligence. And they prove this by having an organization called Lumos Labs. In order to avoid bias, they have brought in some of the country's top neurosciences. And they have created a system called the Brain Performance Test, which is unrelated to any of the games. And through that Brain Performance Test, they shows that brain games do in fact improve one's memory, attention, flexibility, speed, and problem solving. And another study performed on the brain was by Bushkill and Jaggi of the University of Maryland, and they performed this test on young adults. And through performing the NBAC test, which is one of the most popular tests of working memory, it's working memory because they have to memorize like slides 1 time ago, 2 times ago, 3 times ago, and like see letters and use that to like perform, see if they're in the right spot or not, stuff like that. And so through this test, over time, they proved that improvements of cognitive function and working memory of young adults. And besides just improving one's memory or one's fluid intelligence in general, it also improves those people with ADHD. And a study performed by Thomas Klingberg on 14 students with ADHD, 7 he had them perform brain games, while 7 performed less challenging computer tasks. And through as little as 5 days of training, which you can see here, they significantly improved their working memory to the normal range of people who don't have ADHD. And through this testing, he concluded that besides prescribing medicinal aids for ADHD, one can just simply perform brain games to improve the brain. And also the study of the 7 kids who had ADHD, they had a decrease in signs of fidgeting. So that's a visible sign of the reduced ADHD. And so another thing is dementia. And the National Institute of Aging performed a study on over 2,000 people with an average age of 74. And they separated them into 3 groups. One group was memory, another group was speed of reasoning, and the third group was a control group. And they had a specialized brain training program for each of those 3 groups. And 5 years later, when they tested the 3 groups, each group showed improvement in their special category. But only 10 years later, only the speed of reasoning group improved. And interestingly enough, the speed of reasoning group had half as many car accidents as the control group, which was a physical sign how brain games do and improve and delay their signs of dementia. And a more scientific way of showing is that through performing brain games, they resulted in a fewer amount of white matter. And as you can see here, the people with the more severe signs of dementia have more white matter. And a practical use of brain games is being currently performed by military commandos through a game called NeuroTracker. And this game helps train them for the fast-paced and confusing situations of the battlefield by having a 3D game in which balls come flying at you from left and right, and you have to click on them and figure out where they're coming from. And the neuroscience researcher of the military named Harold Haskins said that if he did not believe that brain games like this improved the military commandos significantly, he would not be spending the U.S. tax dollars on programs such as this one. And some rebuttals to this argument is because since they are training very specific categories, the University of Oslo has stated that although they show improvements in their games, it's hard to tell that they improved in other categories, more realistic categories, such as I stated before, someone is given a phone number and they have to memorize it and put it in their phone. As well, the University of Stanford, since brain games are such an emerging field, they conclude that not enough research has been performed to conclude that brain games do improve one's fluid intelligence. However, all the research so far shows promising signs for the area. And my conclusion is that performing brain games improve one's fluid intelligence and working memory, as well as reducing signs of ADHD and prolonging the effects of dementia, and so they are in fact worth the time and money to play them.
Thanks, Aidan. And what evidence did you gather that you did not use, and why did you choose not to use it?
As stated earlier, Dan Hurley introduced the topic of having two types of intelligence: crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence. And at first I had a lot of information on crystallized intelligence, but I decided that it is not crucial towards brain games, and so I decided to cut that out.
Okay, thank you. And explain the level of certainty you have about your conclusion, solution, or recommendation.
Although it's hard to be certain because the brain games is such an emerging field, I'm certain that the signs are promising enough for me to conclude that if one just has to play brain games like once or twice or 3 times a week and only spend like $15 a month, then why not practice it and to improve their fluid intelligence? And as well, the promising signs of reducing ADHD, and I know how many people don't want to take medication to reduce their signs of ADHD, and so why not just simply play brain games to reduce those signs? So.
Thank you very much.